variation of Urdhva Hastasana with 2 blocks and a strap. So place 1 block between your feet and place 1 block between your upper inner thighs, and then hold on to the strap with your hands at shoulders distance apart and lift the strap up and overhead. Let the thighs internally rotate and the outer thighs squeeze the block. So the outer thighs squeeze the inner thighs, which squeeze the block, and then lift the low belly up off the pelvis and lift the rib cage up off the abdomen. Lift the back ribs up off of the lower back. Stretch the arms up to the ceiling. Put tension on the strap. Extend the arms and legs fully. Make lots of space and length in your body here. And let the abdomen settle back towards the anterior surface, the front surface of the lumbar spine. So let the front waist move to the back waist. As your arms move back, let the waist move back. Stand right over your arches and lengthen and breathe here. Full extension in the arms and the legs. Create an ascension of the spine from bottom to top, deep inside yourself. Deep breath here, and then lower your arms down. We'll practice a version of Tadasana with a strap. So take the strap in your hands behind your back with palms facing forward. Bend your knees, parallel legs and feet, and roll your shoulders back and down. And then straighten the legs and straighten the arms as you slide the shoulder blades down your back and lengthen the spine from bottom to top. Get long in your trunk here, long in your side ribs, and feel the whole rib cage lifting up as you slide the shoulder blades down your back. So you can feel how those shoulder blades are in a separate layer from your rib cage. And let the heads of the humerus bones go back and down. Pull the arms down and roll your palms open, keeping tension in the strap. And then exhale and release. Now we'll practice Uttanasana. And we'll use a strap here, so hold on to the strap behind your back with palms facing forward. And begin by bringing the heads of the humerus bones, or the very tops of your shoulders, back. Stand tall on 2 legs, and then bend your knees as you start to hinge at the hips to fold forward, taking the arms up and overhead. Stretch the arms towards the wrists. Pull your shoulder blades towards each other slightly and take the strap up and overhead. Let your head relax and release down. And with soft knees, think of the front of the rib cage releasing down towards the toenails. So the abdomen stays long. Breathe here as you release the rib cage down, as you release the spine and the head down. Stay active in the arms, reaching the extension of the arms towards the hands. Lift the backs of the legs. Exhale right on through the top of the head. Open and released in the back of the throat. And then lead with the arms reaching back to help you come on up. Spread wide through the collarbones. And release. Now we'll practice Ardha Uttanasana. So have 2 blocks in front of you at shoulder distance apart. Stand with your feet at hip distance apart. Thigh bones rolling in, thigh bones back. Feet are awake. Lift your spine. And then exhale and bend your knees. Crease at the hips to fold forward. And take your hands to the blocks. What you don't want to do is curl your spine and tuck your pelvis here, but rather bend your knees, lift your buttocks, stretch the bottom front ribs forwards, elongate through the elbows, And then maintaining this position in the pelvis with the buttocks lifting and spreading. See how much you can stretch and lengthen the backs of the legs. See how much you can open the backs of the knees. Stay grounded in the inner feet. Stretch the chest forward because there's a lengthening happening from deep inside the trunk. Breathe here. And then exhale, take your hands down to the floor, bend your knees deeper and release your trunk all the way down, head relaxing and releasing. And then bring your hands to your outer hips, stretch your chest forward, shoulders back, and come all the way up to stand. And now stand near the wall for a side stretch. So you'll be about 1.5 feet away from the wall. Start in Tadasana. And you can have your feet a little bit apart, or if you choose, you can have your feet together. Lift your arms overhead, starting in Urdhva Hastasana. Roll the thighs in, ground your thighs back, press the arms back, and snuggle the shoulder blades into the rib cage so that you're lengthening the anterior spine. And then start to press your hips out to the right as you bend your body towards the wall. And take your left hand onto the wall. Press your hips away from the wall. Grounding down through your feet, draw up through the musculature of the legs. Side bending towards the wall. And as you inhale, create more length and even walk the fingertips up the wall. Be strong and long in your legs as you side bend here. And think of the thoracic spine deepening towards the chest. So make sure this side bend is not at all a forward bend or a rounding in the back. If anything, it's more like a back bend joining with the side bend. Press the shoulder blades forward and open the right ribs towards the ceiling and maybe even turn to look up. And then press your hands off the wall to come back to center, both arms lifting, arms and legs extending, and exhale and lower your arms down. And then turn around for the other side, this time the outer right hip near the wall, and lift your arms up overhead, firm legs, internal rotation in the thighs. Lift the rib cage. Create a deep internal ascension up through the central axis of the body, which runs along the front of the spine, and then start to side bend to the right as you press your hips to the left. And you'll feel those right fingertips come to the wall, and then the left fingertips come to the wall, and walk your fingertips up the wall as you deepen the side bend and create more length. And press your shoulder blades into the rib cage. Open the left ribs towards the ceiling. Press the hips to the left. And even look up towards the ceiling. And find a sense of a back bend inside the side bend. Buttocks releasing down. Pubic bone and tailbone reaching for each other. And then push off the wall to come to center, extending arms and legs. And exhale, lowering the arms down. Now come to the wall for an arm stretch, which is also a great shoulder and neck opener. So stand one arm's length distance away from the wall. Stand in Tadasana. And place your left hand on the wall and really press your left hand print into the wall. So open fingers, open palm, and press the left thumb mound into the wall. Stretch through your elbow and let your left shoulder move back towards the back of the shoulder socket and down. Let the right shoulder move back and down as well, and lengthen up through the inner trunk. Be strong in your legs and be in a firm and steady and long mountain pose here. Press your handprint into the wall, stretch through the elbow, let your head balance right over your tail. Let the shoulder blades slide down the back here. And then turn your left fingertips so they point behind you. So you'll turn your hand 90 degrees to the left. Press the inner wrist towards the wall, the thumb mound into the wall. Spread your fingers. Stretch through the elbow. And again, let the heads of the humerus bones move back towards the back of the shoulder sockets and down. And as the shoulder blades pull down, the upper trapezius muscles pull down. And then turn the hand again 90 degrees so the fingertips point down. Press the thumb mound and inner wrist into the wall. Stretch through the elbow. Get long through the trunk. Lift the low belly. Ascend the spine from deep inside. Breathing here as you feel the sensations in the arm. Breathe into those sensations. And then release your arm down and turn around for the other side. Place your right hand onto the wall now. Spread your fingers. Spread the right palm and press the thumb mound especially into the wall. Extend long through your right elbow and let the right shoulder move back and down. Let the left shoulder move back and down as well, and slide your shoulder blades down your back as you find a deep ascension through the inner trunk. Breathe into the sensations in your arm. See if you can balance your head right over the tailbone, right over the arches. Spread through the fingers and press your handprint into the wall. And then turn your hand 90 degrees to the right so that your fingertips point back. And again, press the thumb mound and the inner wrist into the wall. Stretch the fingers. Open the palm. Extend the elbow fully. And let the head of the humerus bones move back towards the back of the shoulder sockets. Let the waist move back. Let the low belly lift. Let the legs be strong. You can even think of moving the upper thighs back and the upper buttocks down. Create more space lengthwise in your whole body. So lift your pelvis up off your legs, lift your belly up off your pelvis, lift the rib cage up off the belly. And then turn the arm again 90 degrees so the fingertips point down. Press the thumb mound, inner wrist into the wall. Keep extending through the elbow and be in a Tadasana position in your body. Smooth breathing here. And then release your arm down. And now bring your sticky mat to the wall for a variation of Parshvottanasana. And step your left foot forward and right foot back. Hips are square. Feet are hips distance apart. And then lift your arms and lengthen your waist up through the arms, through the fingertips. So there's a big lift of the low belly and a lift of the rib cage up. Continue to square your hips. The back foot is at a 45-degree angle. Lift up through the musculature of the legs and then hinge forward at the hips to bring your fingertips to the wall. And walk your fingertips up the wall to get longer. Pull your hips back. Engage the musculature of the legs so that the muscles of the legs lift up from ankles to knees to hips. Think of the outer left hip pulling back and think of squeezing the outer hips towards each other. And let your head release down. And then push your fingertips off the wall to come all the way up to center. Exhale your arms out to the sides and down. Hands to hips. And then come to the other side, taking the right foot forward and left foot back. Back foot is at a 45-degree angle, hips are square, musculature of the legs are engaged. And lift the arms all the way up, lengthening the waist up, lift the rib cage three-dimensionally up off of the abdomen, off of the lower back. Extended arms, open hands. Draw the muscles of the legs up from ankles to knees to hips. And then hinge at the hips to take the fingertips to the wall and walk those fingertips up the wall as you pull your pelvis back. Extended arms and legs here. Long in the trunk, long spine. Let your head release down and think of pinning your outer hips, gathering them in towards the midline. Pull that outer right hip back even more. Stay very active in your legs here. And then push off the wall to come back to center, lengthening the arms. And exhale, release the arms out to the sides and down. Hands to hips, and step your feet together. And now we'll practice Parshvakonasana using the wall. So set up your sticky mat against the wall and have a block nearby. And then step your feet wide with your outer left foot at the wall. Heels wider than toes. Hands on hips, shoulders back. Lifted and long in the spine. Shoulder blades hugging into the rib cage. And then turn the whole right leg out. So the foot turns out and the whole thigh rotates so that the front of your right leg points towards the right. And then bend your right knee so the knee is tracking directly over the midline of the foot. Grab your block and rest your hand on the block on the inside of your right foot. Press your right upper arm into the right inner knee. And then lift the left arm up towards the ceiling. And think of the shoulder blades hugging deeper into the rib cage. Let the thoracic spine move deep into the body towards the chest. And then swing your left arm all the way across and gaze at your top hand. Press the outer left foot into the wall. Become very extended in that back leg. Left thigh bone pulls back. And then lengthen that left leg all the way through the left side of the trunk, all the way through the left arm. And firm the right butt cheek forward. So the buttocks is not at all back behind you, but firm the right buttock forward towards the groin. And then inhale, come all the way up to center, hands on hips. Move the block over to the side. Turn your feet so that they're parallel. And step your feet together. And get ready for the other side now, stepping your feet wide so the outer right foot comes to the wall. Engage your legs, lengthen your legs, hands on hips. Let the shoulders hug the back of the shoulder sockets. Let the thoracic spine move deeper into the body towards the chest, elbows back, long waist, abdomen lengthening. And then turn the whole left leg out so that left thigh is even turning out. So the thigh bone is turning in the socket. And then bend the left knee so the knee is tracking directly over the midline of the foot. Pull the left butt cheek forward towards the left groin so the buttock is not at all sinking back behind you. And then ground the right thigh back. Let the outer right foot press into the wall. And it's okay if that right hip comes forward. The right hip does not have to be perfectly flat. In fact, it shouldn't be. So that right hip can come forward a little bit of internal rotation in that right thigh, which will help the left butt cheek drop down and come under you. And then lift the right arm up, stretch the right arm to the ceiling, spread the wingspan, and then deepen the thoracic spine towards the chest as you swing your right arm across and gaze at the top hand. Be very long in the whole right side of your body, so stretch from the right heel to the right fingertips, getting longer there, deepening the bend in the left knee. Left knee is staying open as the left upper arm presses back against it. Left buttock dropping down and coming under you. Right thigh grounding back. And then inhale and come all the way up. Hands to hips. Feet parallel. And step your feet together. And then release your arms and recover with an open chest. And now take your sticky mat to the wall as you see here for a prasarita dog. Have your blocks in front of your sticky mat as you see, and stand with your back facing the wall. Start in Tadasana with feet together, active legs and long spine. Take your hands to your hips and step your feet wide. Have your heels a few inches away from the wall. Shoulders back, side ribs lifting, lift the low belly, thighs internally rotating, legs absolutely extended. And then hinge at the hips and lift the buttocks to start to fold forward and take your hands onto the blocks. Gather your outer ankles in and ground through the inner feet. Draw up through the musculature of the legs and pull the thighs back, pull the upper thighs back, pull the outer hips back, and press your buttocks towards the wall as you slide the blocks forward and bring your trunk into a down dog position. Slide the blocks forward and release your head down. Stretch through the sides of your body. Stretch the front of the trunk long. Pull the buttocks back and extend open the backs of the knees. Get long in the backs of your legs. Breathing here as the head releases down and the tailbone lifts up. Breathe here as you extend through the armpits and pull the thighs back. Draw up through the hamstrings. Stay active in the feet and the toes. And then pull the blocks back so they're underneath the shoulders, stretching the chest forward. Walk your feet in a little bit. Bend your knees, take your hands to hips, shoulders back, chest forward, and come up. And lay down on your back now for a supine twist. Extend your arms out to the sides. Lift your knees up over your hips. And then take your knees over to the right towards your right elbow. And rest your legs down on the floor here, and then reach the left arm to the left to increase the twist. Feel your belly rolling to the left as your legs relax more and more to the right. Have a sense of widening across the collarbones, long and wide through the arms, open hands. You can ground your arms down into the floor. Lengthen the spine here and turn the belly more to the left as you relax the legs more to the right. And then bring your legs up to the center. And take your legs over towards the left elbow, knees nice and bent. Take a moment as you settle your body here. Reach the right arm to the right to help open the chest. And let your belly recede and roll to the right as you relax your legs more and more to the left. Spread through the arms, long spine, smooth breath. Roll the belly to the right. And then take the legs back to center and feet down. Now we'll do a version of supported fish with a bolster and 2 blankets. So please set up as you see here. The bolster is horizontal, and then you have 2 folded blankets, and that will be for your head support. So lay back over the bolster so the bolster is supporting your rib cage. It's not under the lumbar spine. Rather, it's under the thoracic spine. And then pull the flesh of the buttocks away from the lower back. And the shoulders will relax into the gap between the bolster and the folded blankets. And the head will rest on the folded blankets. And start to extend and relax the legs. Let the arms relax right out to the sides. Let the abdomen settle. Let the shoulders relax here. See if the shoulders can really let go because of all of this support that's here. Let the head and neck relax because they're supported by the blankets. Let the upper torso relax as it's supported by the bolster. Let gravity have an effect on the shoulders, releasing and relaxing. Slow down your exhalations here. Stay very present in this moment inside yourself. Observing whatever arises. Smooth inhalation, smooth exhalation. And then start to come out of the pose by curling onto your right side. Now we'll practice Supta Baddha Konasana. So place your bolster lengthwise on your sticky mat. And then you can place a folded blanket onto the bolster as you see here. And now also grab 2 blocks and have 1 block on either side of your mat. That will be the support for your knees. So sit down with your back facing the bolster and adjust the buttocks so that you pull the flesh of the buttocks away from the bolster and towards your feet. And then elongate yourself as you lay back over the bolster and adjust the blanket so that it's supporting your head. And now let the soles of your feet come together and open up the knees. And let the blocks support you underneath your shins and thighs. And take a moment here to make sure that the flesh of the buttocks is pulling away from the lower back, to adjust the shoulder blades so that they're sliding down your back, and to adjust the blanket so that it's giving you really nice support underneath your neck and head. And then let your arms open out to the sides in a Shavasana position with palms face up. And let your next exhalation be very gradual, slow, smooth. And follow that exhalation all the way to the end. And then let your mind observe the inhalation, full, complete, nourishing breath. And then as you breathe here, perhaps let the arms slide up a little more so that they're at around the shoulder height. You can play with it and find an arm position that feels really good to you today. Deepening your breath here, relaxing here. Relax into the support of the blocks and the bolster and the blanket.